Yes, hi, this is George Larakis again, and today I would like to talk about integration by parts. So let's start first with when you have to use integration by parts. To answer this question, you have to know a bit about the theory, which is that the integral of f prime of x times g of x dx is equal with f of x g of x minus the integral of f of x g prime of x dx. If you see what you have here, you have to find the integral of the product of two functions. So that's when you do it. So that means that you must have a product of two functions. And of course, when we mean a product, that can be, of course, some function multiplied by 1, because that's also a product. And also, it can be a quotient between two functions, like f of x over g of x, because again, this here you can write it as f of x times the 1 over g of x. So that's for what it has to do with when we use integration by parts. Now, how we do integration by parts, and always, I try to give you the general approach so you can solve any problem in the topic. That's the theory that you have to know. And are there any points of clarification here? I mean, the only thing is that when you have the product, you have to make sure that because once you have this here is not a problem to calculate it. What is the problem is if you can calculate this here. So that means that once you have a product, you have to make sure that the derivative, so let's say you have a product of two functions, f of x and g of x. So you have to make sure that, because you see here is the integral of the f prime of x times g prime of x dx. So that means that when you have this product here, you have to make sure that the derivative of the one times the other, it's something that you can calculate. And that doesn't matter which will be the order of these two functions. So, but that's what is important, that the derivative of the one times the other, it's something that you can calculate. So that's about the points of clarification. Let's do a simple example. So let's say you want to find the integral of x sine x dx. Start from the 1. I mean, you see that this here is a product of two functions, the x and the sine of x. So that means that now you can substitute one of them to be the f prime of x and the other one to be the g of x. So here I choose to substitute as f prime of x the sine of x and I choose to, of course, what is left is that the g of x has to be equal with x. Here what you have the integral, you have the f of x, so that means that to go from the derivative to the f of x, that means that you have to take the integral of this function, and of course the integral of the sine function is, if you take the integral of sine x dx is negative cos of x, and of course that's what is our f of x. So that's it. So if you now apply the rule directly, what you have that. So we said that the f of x is the negative cos of x. So that means that this integral here, it should be equal with negative cos of x times gx, which is x. So minus the integral of f of x, which we said is minus cos of x, and of course times the derivative of g of x, which of course the derivative of g of x, g prime of x, the derivative of x is 1. So that means that the g prime of x is 1, so you don't even have to write it. So that means that the final answer is minus cos of x plus the integral of cos of x, which is sine x. I mean, minus the minus becomes plus, so plus the integral of cos of x, which is sine of x, so plus sine of x. Of course, because this is indefinite integral, we have to add the constant c. So this here is the integral of the function x sine x dx. So thank you for taking the time to view this video, and I hope you find it useful, and bye for now.